All right, so I just entered in for a trade, my own analysis, doing GDP JPY. So this is the weekly chart. I wanted to see what the overall trend has been for the past few weeks, and it has been an uptrend. However, the last 3 weeks has been on a downtrend. So I see a mirror that needs to occur here. So that was my first indication to get in for a sale. Down here on my RSI, it passed to 70. So we know if it goes past 70, it's most likely going to go in for a sale. And then I went down to my daily chart just so I can see over the last few days. So it's been a general direction. It was on an uptrend. Now it is on a downtrend. All right, so I went ahead and marked up my support and my resistance. I went to my 400, marked up the support and the resistance just to see if it was going to respect those lines. Just to see if it was going to respect the supports and resistance. So here we saw that it did break through one of these major resistance lines or support lines, excuse me. So I was like, that's 3 indications that it's going in for a sell. So then I went to my 15, and as we can see, our green, our alligator, it crossed the red and the blue. So that's an even stronger indication for a sell. And we see all these bearish candlesticks. I waited to get in, I think around here, for it to retrace just a little bit so I can catch some up pips before it goes back down. If I got in up here, it would have been better, but I didn't want to get in all the way down here. I waited for it to retrace, and then I got in. So where is my, yeah, so here is my risk to reward. Normally I'll do a 1-to-3 ratio, but for this it was a 1-to-1. I just really feel strongly that it's going to mirror this. It's supposed to be an M, but it's not. It's just a peak. I really feel like it's going to come back down. So I wanted to see what was the furthest that it would come down. What's the next support level? So I zoomed back out to the daily. So I got my next support level. They seem to be respecting that pretty heavily for the last few. So we picked our supports, our resistance, and that's how we got our stop losses. So I went ahead and put this trade into MetaTrader 4. I did put an expiration date on it. I'm just going to see, because on my weekly chart, the last 3 weeks have been bearish. So this one is the week of April 25th, this is the week of May 2nd, and this is the week of May 9th. So I really feel strongly that it's going to mirror this uptrend with a downtrend. When it gets to the bottom, I'm going to get out. So we'll see what happens. Today is the 11th. We'll see. All right, so I'm going to show you where the trade is right now. This morning when I logged on, I was at $18 profit, so I decided to open up another trade because we see a slight retracement here, okay? So see at the top of these green bars I'm about to show you with a little circle. I was thinking this was going to be just a slight retracement, which would be a better price point to get in at for the drop. So I decided to open up another trade, right? Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. So here we can see where it was at $18 in that second position that I had just opened. And we can see where price is just going up now at this point. Yeah. So on all the other timelines of one day, you can see my head and shoulders. That's where I got into the trade at yesterday. And I'm assuming that it was going to drop all the way back down here. It doesn't appear to be doing that, but this is what my prediction was yesterday when I entered the trade in, when I first saw the pattern. So that's why we're in $18 profit now. Here you can see that smooth little pattern. And then on the 15-minute, it appears that we're still dropping too. So I'm not going to panic just yet. Still keeping my head in the game. I'm thinking it's just a slight retracement. So let's see what happens next. So in this point of the trade, I should have gotten out because I was up. It was a slight retracement. As you can see, it's dropping again. I should have gotten out right here. This is when I should have gotten out because, yeah, it did not go the way I thought it would. But this is what I thought at the time. It was just going to be a slight retracement, and so I was going to catch all those pips. As you can see, it did go in the direction that I thought it would. I should have just gotten out at that point. So you'll be able to see that it's going to drop, but it's also going to continue to go back up to the upside. Yep. So in hindsight, at this point, I should have gotten out. Go ahead and cash in my earnings, but I didn't. So we're watching to see what happens next. All right, so as we can see, my prediction was not correct. That shit shot up, okay? We see the smooth moving averages crossed. That's an indicator other than those big ass green candles, as you can see. So it was not just a retracement. I thought I was going to retrace and then go back to the downside. I went to the upside. So yeah, I lost all those pips, as you can see. So I'm just going back to the other time frame just to make sure that my trend is still, going the way I thought it was on the 30-minute, the 4-hour, and the 1 day. The smooth moving averages haven't crossed, and it's still a strong sell. So I'm going to stick with my trade and believe in it. I went down to the 1 day just so I can look at my head and shoulders again and make sure that my take profit level, as you can see, is still accurate. It's not even, I didn't even go all the way to the bottom of the head and shoulders. I just went halfway. So I'm still hopeful that it's going to continue to drop. So we were just double checking our larger time frames because the 1 minute can cause you to panic, as you can see. All right, so I came back to check on my trade to see if it was going back down to the downside, and it is indeed. We're going to have to still wait, but as you can see, the smooth moving averages is crossed again to the downside. So it's an indication to me that it's going to sell. I knew that already because I could see the trend. So that's why I did not cut my losses and cash out. So here on the 5 minute, we can see it's still on a downtrend. Like it's crossed twice. So price action is moving. It's moving, and we're just going to let it move. I still believe in the location that the trend is going. It's on a downward motion. So we're going to keep at it. It's the 1 day. Still looks good to me. So I'm going to let my take profit and my stop losses hit. All right. So if I go back to my trade, I can see it's up from where it was a few hours ago. It was at $11 and $7 loss. So we're back up. We just got to wait for our trend to go back all the way down to where that dip was this morning. So I'll come back to finish out the video because I closed out my trade. Like I was done. I closed it out. I get back to 17. I was close enough to 18 when we started in the morning, so I closed it out. So I'll show you. Let me see where we closed it out at 56.02. So I'm going to go back to the chart and show you where we closed it out at and then show you what I could have caught. It was at about here when I closed the trade out. It was at 17. So I could have rode the rest of these pips down, but I did not wait. I got scared. My last one I could have rode out too. I'm mad I sold out. I got negative 66. But that's all right. Better luck next time. I still made about $20, so it'll be all right. I could have rode and got the last little bit of them pips, but I'm glad I didn't because you see it shot back up. So better luck next time. So just to recap my trades for the day, I started off with that sell yesterday, and it ended up super profitable. Got $17 from it, and then the rest of the trades that I got profit from were just scalps off of that one trade. So I opened up another position, let it drop, closed it. Opened up another position, let it drop, closed it. The last two were unsuccessful. Unfortunately, I thought they were going to drop at a certain point, and it did not. It started to retrace, and I closed it. I got scared. And this one, it ended up in profit, but I didn't even mean to do that. Wrong trade.